Hi everybody, welcome back to the Our Smiling Faces podcast for your question and answer. Once again sponsored by Guillermo Clothing and GEORDIE Gift.
Thanks for that, Chris.
You're welcome.
Very nice.
Question answer, let's go.
Am I reading?
Yep.
Franny Marshall.
Alright, Franny.
Francis.
Frangipani.
Frangipani. Classic.
I think that was the first ever title of the Gallagher Shots podcast.
I wonder how many people
was the first
remember
title.
that one.
Is she the gymnast?
Frangipani.
No,
what's Frangipani?
It's
is it some sort
an
of food?
Italian dessert.
Oh, right.
I was going to say, is it a food? Like,
Gymnast.
Gymnast called Claudia Frangipani or something.
Is it? Oh, right, okay.
What a shout that is.
Yeah. But she hasn't sent this question in.
She must be fit, is she fit?
I can't say I'm very man, Chris, you know what I mean?
Well, if she's a gymnast, she's going to be like 13-year-old.
I bet you can spread off Ranny Pan out.
No, fuck's sake.
Oh my god.
Can you just delete that one out?
I didn't leave it. Question answer, we don't kill the question anymore.
Anyway, Francis asks, do you think that some fans look forward to Newcastle losing so that they can have a rant about the club and manager, because some of the backlash to recent results has been ridiculous?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
I like Francis.
Yeah, I think a lot I don't think fans want Wood to lose, but I think they'll take a bit of pleasure from it, because then that thinks, see, we shouldn't have got rid of Rafa. We didn't get rid of Rafa. Let's be honest. A lot of people saying we get rid of Rafa. The same people that go, do you know many other people from that fans saying, oh well, you sacked Pardew. We didn't sack Pardew.
Yeah,
like he left. Yeah. It's one of those things where Newcastle losing games works in favour of hating Bruce.
Yeah.
It's easy,
not Mike Ashley for
easy
some
to do, isn't it?
It seems to just be Bruce, but yeah.
Well, that's it. It's everybody's fault except his.
But I said something to the lad, because I get shit all the time. I was at work and someone was on my case, and I was like, listen, I went, because I hate having this debate all the time, but I have to keep going there. Under Rafa, we went on games where we didn't win 7 or 8, 9, didn't win a game in 9 games or 8 games, right? On what planet did people not expect it to happen again? Like, we couldn't do it when we had Rafa. We couldn't, sustain performances or sustain form. Now we've got Steve Bruce in, the worst paid manager in history, right? No, let's be fair, right?
Worst win results in the Premier League.
Yeah, and people are almost shocked and surprised that, hey, you've lost 3 in a row now, what's going on? Well, we fucking lost 8 last year with the most expensive guy of all time.
But Bruce gets the hate and not the person who put him in that seat.
Exactly.
Which is strange.
Yeah. It's just strange. It is strange.
It's because it's Bruce's fault that he got the job after Rafa didn't accept it and left.
They're just surprised that, you've lost 3 in a row. We might lose 10 in a row and I wouldn't probably bat an eyelid, because I'd probably expect it. That's the truth.
How many points have we got?
Oh, don't go on this.
No, how many points have we got?
25. Is it 7 more than last time? Is it 7 more than last year?
How many points do you need to stay up?
Well, I don't think I need 40 this year. I think it might be more,
Right, so bearing in mind, we need what? Another 15 points?
Yeah, I need 4 wins.
I'm judging everything at the end of the season. I'm not counting my chickens yet. I'm judging everything.
Well, that's it. Everybody's going on, oh, that's it. We're relegation form. We're going to get relegated.
There's a lot of shit in the Premier League going on. Like, there's some fucking rotten teams in there at the minute.
We are.
But like, looking at the bottom there, like, I mean, Watford have looked fucking awful for most. I mean, they've started to pick results up now. Norwich had a couple of good games as well.
That's Nigel Pearson going in there. Everybody that Newcastle should never have gone anywhere near.
But like,
would he got as much stick as Bruce is getting, do you think, if he'd came?
Nigel Pearson, because I'm fucking shit's getting the blood. You throttle your call, you're ostrich or something.
I don't know. That would have been a shock out of that, like, wouldn't it? He's doing well at Watford.
But that's the thing, like, everybody was going on about, oh no, Nigel Pearson, he should never come here.
It has worried, not worried, but like the last few weeks has been, every time at the match, when you're at the game, I look at the scoreboard, I'm like, fuck, they're beating them, and God, they're winning in Ireland. I just feel like, the gap's not as big as it was.
It's tight. I mean, there was a point before Christmas where we were something like 4 points off 5th and 5 points off 18th or something like that.
But it's still like that throughout the whole of the league.
It's tight, and it's a symptom of, like, teams are taking points off teams.
Yeah, they are.
Unfortunately, we seem to be taking points off decent teams, and the points that we're losing to, mentioned there, Norwich, Watford, Villa, have all taken points off us this season.
True, but then we did beat Palace and Southampton back to back, which I thought was a huge 6 points at that time.
Beat Bournemouth as well.
So
That's true.
It swings and roundabouts. Do you know what I mean? It does. It's just
I am concerned. I mean, I'm no more concerned than I was a month ago. I've always said, like, well, a bad month away from tumbling down into 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, of course.
Because we only had a good month to get out of that. So. But for all, every Newcastle is a Bournemouth. Bournemouth are struggling a bit. Burnley,
Massively, actually.
Burnley are up and down. There's a lot of teams in there in a pretty similar situation.
I do find it weird that people seem to forgot what we are a little bit.
Yeah,
Like we are a club that'll probably just stay up.
I think there's
I've sat here and said 17th every fucking year I'm on, I think.
I think the Benitez, the 3 years, was the three seasons we had with Benitez, it was hope and there was like, right, we're ambitious and he's...
Well, he was.
Well, yeah, he was, he said as much. And it was... I know personally, from my point of view, I thought, right, this is the bloke who, this is a sign of maybe actually starting to get it right.
Yeah.
And then every pre-season something happened with him. No, actually, well, not the
Every window.
The politics started, wasn't it?
And then, and with Bruce, we've kind of reverted a type. And there's a lot of the abuse that Bruce has had, I think, and I'm maybe include myself in this, I'll give him some pat at the start of the season. I think a lot of that might just be of like a release of like a primal scream almost of like, well, fucking back where we were 4 years ago,
yeah,
and nothing's changed.
Realising we're back in the place where
4 years
was.
closer to death. That's it. And it's just so fucking. I've done it myself. I'm sitting there thinking, what's the fucking point? I was again the Man U match. They got fourth at the start of the second half. I thought, well, I might as well go home. There's no point in being here now because nothing's gonna, it's just shit. And it's kind of, God, I'm fucking depressing here.
I know, mate. I know.
But by the same token, like, what, 2 or 3 wins away from being fucking 8th. It can happen.
And it can, yeah. We're not the 8th best team in the league, that is for fucking sure.
I think it might be because I think honestly think between the bottom 13, 14 teams there's not much.
It's not much, isn't it?
It's like a season when we did finish 10th.
I watched Southampton get beat 9-0. Well, not that bad. But then I see Southampton play quite well actually sometimes, most of the time. It's a funny league.
The teams have played over Christmas. I mean, Man United away, they've started hitting a little bit of form. Leicester, they've had a good season.
Man United was the game that I thought we'd get something out of.
I thought
out of all of
Everton had the brand new manager in place.
Exactly.
We still should have gotten something in that.
Should have. And let's think of all the individual errors we've seen over the last few games.
Jesus,
horrendous. Some of these.
You mentioned in the main podcast about the Andy Carroll thing against Everton. What's Fabian Shaw doing?
Oh,
he's no way. He's got his own.
Yeah. Totally right. The
fella's got the fucking freedom in 6-yard box there. There's no way he's going anywhere.
Shocking defender.
Unchallenged. It's appalling. It's
then we'll go back to the game back where you see
twice.
It's obviously that game as well, but then you go back to the other one where Longstaff puts it on a plate, and who was it? That one Shea puts it on the plate.
Yeah. They're terrible mistakes, like.
And the game before is the one where Shea lets the ball go over his head.
Yep.
Well,
that's why I got individual mistakes. I can't blame a manager for those mistakes on the pitch. I can't physically blame him because he can't change anything.
But it is his fault because he's not coaching them to do their jobs correctly.
Mistakes happen.
People are just arseholes in that opinion. Like,
and we've been on an absolute shocking form for these individual mistakes.
Yeah.
And there's only one person to blame for that, and it's the player that's made the mistake in my eyes.
Well, the thing with the Jeune against Leicester was that the mad 10 minutes he had.
Yeah.
Like, people are saying he was rushed back, but he hasn't been fit for like 3-4 weeks and just not rushed back. And I think people do look for an angle to have a go at Bruce. And
we'll probably all been in that boat where we've all criticised him, especially after which game was it? After the Leicester game, we all sat here and went to town on him.
I was cross.
On him.
I was so cross. But I like another thing with getting on Bruce's back and wanting him to go is who comes in, and I've seen when Pardew was here, people like, would have a go at if I saying that. But if Bruce goes, we're not going to get fucking Ancelotti, or we're not going to get like.
Yeah, you're right.
I can't think of any good managers.
Well, the last tweet I seen before I left Twitter was some guy was put, that's it, I'm on the Bruce out wagon, that's it, I've had enough, Bruce out, hashtag this, that. And I was thinking, like, are you fucking stupid? Like what's if you get rid of him, what on earth is going to change? Because again, you're aiming it at the wrong person. It's the man above him.
And I think
situation where we
do you
found
reckon
ourselves
Ashley has learned the hard way about it was great having Rafa there, but Rafa started turning the fans against Ashley again. And maybe Ashley's thinking, do I put myself in that position again where I'll bring a manager who's going to bring in and tackle me as an owner of the club? Because that's what Rafa did.
I've sat here before and said, all Mike Ashley wants to do every single season is finish 4th bottom.
He probably wants to finish higher,
well,
but he'll accept that.
Yeah. He'd accept it, but he wouldn't.
That was your argument last time as well, but if he wanted to do that, then why wouldn't he invest more in the club?
Because it's spent
to actually get them further.
Of course, anyone wants he wants to win the league. Of course he wants to win the league, but he'll accept finishing 70.
He'll not spend the money to win the league. He'd rather have the money that he's from skyrocketing.
So he's happy. He wants to finish fourth bottom every season.
I don't think he wants to finish, but I think he likes
I think he's happy to finish.
You're telling me you wouldn't
rather
rather finish in Europe, have his fucking advertisements on telly all the time and in different countries? And
No, because they have to take them down. Can't advertise them.
He would. But he wouldn't. He's not willing to put in. But he'd rather finish second or first than fucking fourth bottom.
They did in the UEFA Cup, didn't they, that time? Well, Europa League,
Yeah,
where
you've
they
got-
had
you've
Sports
got
Direct with
Czechia.
Hungarian and fucking
Did they?
They did.
I remember that.
They did it in that pre-season thing in China.
Yeah,
The
so
shirt
that.
was-
But apparently it wasn't linked with Sports
They
Direct.
say it wasn't.
Exactly the same colours.
Colours,
Aye.
yeah. That was weird.
Definitely
Just
Sports
a
Direct.
coincidence. Just a
So
coincidence.
we just took 15 minutes on one
The
question.
same
I like
colour
that.
palette.
That's good stuff.
So I've got a couple of questions around the Wolves game coming up. So got from Callum Irving and also Robin Verhagen. So Robin asks, would you play the Saint against Wolves or not if the risk's too early? Callum asks, should ASM, Dummett, Clark, Shelvey, Willems, Shea and Lascelles come back?
Jesus Christ, that just
Would
shows
you
you
start
how
with
many
any of them?
England players we've got.
And we haven't mentioned that, I don't think,
Yeah.
so far. Like, the Rochdale game, the games over Christmas.
And you're not including Muto and Almiron in there either. They obviously went off at the weekend.
It's scary. We're a bad team, but you take 11 of our starting players out, you're even worse. You're fucked, really, aren't you? And I thought Clark's been brilliant this season. He's a big miss. Lascelles is huge. Proven now Lascelles is huge.
Yeah.
We're leaking goals for fun. He might not be the best footballer in terms of a defender. Organisation, leadership at the back, it's gone missing. I don't care what anyone tells us. It's gone missing.
Yeah.
They're missing him massively.
I don't know if the leadership's gone there because I think Fernandez is very talkative and organising and stuff like that. Maybe
Defence hasn't looked the same. We've
That's-
had the Fab 3 that we've all been banging on
That's-
about. I've seen no but mistakes.
but it's been
made.
down. It's
been down to
again
mistakes,
individual
mate.
mistakes, isn't it?
I'm with you. Since Fabian came back in the team, we haven't looked as comfortable as what we did beforehand.
No.
Obviously, since Clark went out
And I hate to
Fabian
admit
came
it
in.
because I'll eat my own words. I'm an arse. I said that the best three probably would be Fernandez in the middle, Lejeune and Shea. We've looked pretty terrible actually since they've come in, and that's just the way it is.
Sorry, Lascelles come back.
So
No, I wouldn't start saying. Nah,
No, sorry, yes,
no,
sorry.
that's-
not a chance. Not a chance.
Too
in hell.
early.
There's no point, is it?
even if you want to have him on the bench, just in case,
Nah.
getting back involved. But
Not even put him on the bench.
I would have, in case he gets a cold or something, like wrap him in cotton wool,
Yeah.
stick him in the bath.
But like, what's the point? What's the game after them? After Wolves?
Chelsea, I think.
Chelsea. Nah, he's not playing that either.
Chelsea and Everton. Away.
Might as well get yourself away, mate.
I think it's
already.
Oh, was it not Everton then? Chelsea.
Rochdale, aye. Sorry, we've got
Rochdale.
Rochdale. Play him.
because we might have the greatest highlight reel of all
So he's
time.
not starting. Put him on the last 20 minutes. Even if we're 3-0 up, put him on the last 20 minutes. We'll win 20-0.
I was thinking that. I did think in the first half of Rochdale. Imagine if he had been on the field.
Oh. But that
They would have had to open a new wing on the A&E. Our and Rochdale, man, with broken ankles.
He would have absolutely rinsed
well, that's the
them.
thing, innit? We were essentially playing our second, third string
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah, I get it.
His Holiness the Reverend Alex Shields sends in.
For that.
What needs to happen this month to rectify the problems at the moment? Do you think we'll buy or sell anyone?
And he's Zach Bruce now.
Well, if you could just, in your prayers, get some divine inspiration.
And I
to
know
happen.
the one that should be answering
No,
this.
you've got a direct line to him upstairs.
For that.
Do you know what my biggest gripe is at the minute?
I don't mean Mike Ashley upstairs. I mean,
Apart from injuries. I watched. Did you watch the Liverpool kids last night? Was it?
last night.
I saw the highlights of it. I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, I watched
They
it.
were amazing, right?
Yeah, it looked like that a point improved, didn't it?
Oh, they were so good. But I just wish we had a midfielder, right? And I'm blaming Shelby and Hayden, right? Because I know you think I like Shelby loads. I just wish we'd have a midfielder, right, that would take the ball off one of the centre halves, physically turn round and run. But just don't have it. And I watch these kids.
I think Shelby would have done that 10 years ago, wouldn't
Lalana
he?
does it a lot, like, but just carries the ball. Do you know what I mean? And the one thing I'm going to give Perez a bit of credit for, yeah, I've thought about it more when we haven't had him, right? I appreciate Perez is not a midfielder, I'm not trying to say that at all. But Perez at least would get the ball and go forward a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not saying the greatest of pace, but he would drive forward. I just really feel that apart from Almiron, we
Almiron and
just
St.
don't
Maximin,
have
isn't it?
anyone.
We're missing a bit of an engine there, aren't we?
Aye, Shelby and Hayden, I'm telling you, we will never ever progress with them two in centre midfield. Ever.
Well, Hayden was trying it at the start of the season, wasn't he?
Because
the
he was
one
playing
that
like a right winger.
was
Or-
trying.
Could you argue with, say, young Longstaff? Maybe that.
Matty is
Matty
100%.
Longstaff's-
Yeah, 100%. He
But
will be the
he
man.
needs
which-
game time, man. He should not be in a position now where he's playing in our starting team. He needs to go out for a season. I honestly,
Or you just put him in the first team and let him get on with it.
nah. I think
Would you rather? I know what you're going to say because Hayden tattles. Would you rather have Hayden in the? Would you rather have Matty than Hayden in there? If you played Matty, Shelby, and then you've got Almiron doing this thing and he's doing the one,
I'm not sure.
or is it not?
I'm not
Is it
sure.
enough there? suppose Hayden does.
I don't think we're midfield strong enough. I think we've got plenty of depth there, but I don't think it's strong enough.
I don't know.
We've got
It's just-
4,
it's shit,
5
isn't it?
players that can play centre mid at the minute, and I don't think any of them are good.
Well, Shelby, I still don't mind.
Shelby's
Shelby.
had a great season. Let's
But
be honest, he has.
he's still frustrating, though, isn't he? As
Shelby,
much as I like him.
as long as he's been here. I remember in the
His entire
championship,
career, though, isn't it?
It is. He's 1 week you want rid of him. I've seen it myself. I don't want to see him play for it again. 3-4 weeks later, he has a couple of good games. He's all right. It's so.
He did one
Decisive.
bit of class skill against Leicester. You know, when he Cruyff Madison, he almost got pissed off that Madison's completely running the show, by the way. And he thought, I know it is. And he muscled him off. He done a Cruyff turn, ran with the ball, hamstring. He done his hamstring.
Shelby's a great player if he doesn't have to move.
He is, but we need more than that.
Yeah.
Every midfielder I see coming to us, they've got runners off the ball, bursting from midfield. We have Hayden, who I'm telling you, and I'll say it again. I've said it for weeks. Whoever he says I say it all the time. I do say it, but he fucking sprints all the way back 100 miles an hour. It's the fastest he runs is back to his own goal. Shouts and balls at a defender, gets it and gives him it straight back. Doesn't even control the ball. He just goes, cheers mate, thanks for that.
Yeah,
What are you doing, man?
Then lies on the deck.
Then lies on the deck. And I know it sounds like I'm bashing Hayden, but I've watched him a lot recently and I just do not see what's going on, man.
I think if we're seriously looking at strengthening in January, we'll have to look at that midfield position.
Got to. We've
Massively.
Got to, man. Got to.
Well, it's funny you should say that.
I'm not
uh,
else I would bring Ian up, but I'm just saying.
Fabian Scher sends in.
Right, Fabs.
It's actually him, yeah.
Right, sexy.
Did it piss you off when he shushed, by the way? Apologise for the question.
Was he shushing fans?
100%.
Like,
100%.
it was a strange one, that
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
I didn't see that, I
He
didn't.
ran away shushing, right?
Yeah, he went to the corner, didn't he?
And I, all right.
Then he turned back round.
Then he turned back around and did it again. I went, fuck you.
Is that because of the criticism he got from the game before?
Well, he
Oh, actually, it was that game as well, wasn't
he
it?
had a howler at Southampton,
Yeah.
Duck territory,
Yeah.
and he had a howler against Man United. And he had a howler for the Leicester goal
It was
anyway.
a strange celebration. Like, wasn't
It
it?
was on Joe Linton probably might stick his fingers up in the whole works, make it suck its fingers, everything when he scores, if he scores.
Yeah, I'd pay good money to see Joe Lennon score a goal, then just like suck it to the Gallagher.
Just like that.
Just went,
It would be
yeah.
amazing.
Like, imagine that might be the greatest celebration I've ever seen in my life. Better than Adebayo's. Or just goes to every
So
corner.
he just runs at every corner and slides like that.
He might just do an Austin and just like and just roll on the fucking ground all the way around the pitch, just giving it 10 now.
You wouldn't blame him. Well, I wouldn't blame him.
I'm all for that celebration, all for it.
Though I hated it when Perez did that. So Fabian asks, we have 6 decent centre backs, obviously including himself in that. Wing backs, controversial next sentence. Can't fault Hayden and Shelby too much. Saint Maximum, Atsu and Almiron have all been good. However, we're still not creating enough chances.
First of all, I'm disagreeing with that bit because Atsu's had one good game one good half against Rochdale.
Oh, that's unfair. Atsu was very good at the start of the season.
Nah, don't read him. If he's our option,
Atsu was very good at the start of the season when he was
He
playing.
doesn't ever get relegated.
You reckon, aye?
He was. You've got short memories if you don't think
He had a
was playing
good
well
great
at the
pass to
start
Joe
of the
Linton for
season.
the Tottenham game.
Not having it. I don't think he's good enough.
We all sat here and said he was unlucky to be dropped.
Yeah, he was,
at
but
the
I still
start
don't
of the
think he's good
season.
enough. I always said that he's not a Premier League player.
I think again, I still think we're guilty of thinking players are better than they are.
I think
still
he's,
believe that, you know.
I've always said along the lines with Gale. Gale's would never be my first choice player in a Premier League. Of course, he would be in the Championship. Atsu was the same. I'd stick him in the Championship team as well. Not good enough for the Premier League.
He's not good enough if you want to progress. I mean, he's played quite a bit of football over the past 3 seasons, and we've not.
You forget we're a mid to lower table Premier League football team.
I don't think he's good enough for that either.
I've said the same about Colback in the Championship, but he played a lot of football more in the league, so he's got to. Like when you go on the Beatles.
I just think.
He wasn't good enough for the
I
Beatles,
think
but the
we
Beatles
could
were
just
unreal.
do. I think we could do better. I honestly do.
Well, we could, but that would require ambition.
No, I know you say that, but I mean, we're brought in Saint, for example. So I'm not saying that we're ambitious in terms of. I don't want to get wrong here for saying things, but I know you keep saying that. Well, we're not going to buy anyone. We're doing this. I mean, we're brought in Almiron, who's a canny little player. Saint's fucking the best thing I've ever seen. Like we're not. You know what I mean? Like you can't always say it's all doom and gloom that we're never buying anyone.
No.
Shite.
But
do you know what I mean?
realistically, we only brought him in because nobody else wanted him and we got him cheap.
Who?
Saint Maximum.
Don't you be saying that about him?
It's true though.
Well, 20 odd million is not cheap for our standards. You know what I mean? You're buying.
Well, for 20 odd million, a lot of Premier League Brighton were throwing out on like fucking.
Like a Neymar,
New Year's Eve. So if other clubs have got 20 million to spend and they're looking at him,
Like this.
I think it's hard. I mean, actually.
I thought they were raffle tickets.
I've had something.
That was like that what's it called? Meme or meme or whatever you call them.
Meme. Who's he?
Memes.
He plays centre midfield.
Where what does that?
I'm gonna know.
You know the one I mean?
Oh yeah, I do know. Yeah.
Grip tail or something like
He's
that.
got the neckerchief on.
Yeah. See, you do.
Oh yeah, aye. But the clubs have got money to spend now. None of them want to spend on St Maximin.
I'm glad.
Also,
Don't get us wrong, I'm glad they didn't want to buy
I'm
him.
not saying he's shite, but why is that?
Because his attitude was horrendous.
He had a bad attitude and no end
Even
products.
though he's an actual saint, man.
We've seen one of those things come true.
So we've got a reverend, we've got a saint. Anything else?
Wasn't there? We had Jesus for a bit. We had Jesus.
Jesus,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jesus, yeah.
We had Mohammed.
Jesus, Gamez,
Mohammed.
Fad
Mohammed
Mohammed.
was the other
I
one.
say that quite a lot in the matches now. Jeez.
We just need a Jew.
Okay, next question, I think.
Sign somebody from Israel or somewhere.
All right, okay.
If you want,
David
He
Rosenhall.
plays centre midfield.
There we are. We've already had one
Was he Jewish?
with a name like Rosenhall. I would seriously hope so.
I would seriously. You would hope he was a Jew.
Well, it's a Jewish name.
What difference does it make if he wasn't?
Right, next.
You didn't actually answer for
I know, I'm just stopping you in your tracks.
Shares score.
What's the question?
Question.
What was it again?
He doesn't think a striker would solve our problems. What do you
Well,
think?
that's a fair point. But having said that, you go back to the Rochdale game. If you have a striker who scores that goal, you're tuning up the game's
Yeah,
over.
I don't think a striker necessarily solves all the problems.
Yeah, all the
but it
problems,
makes a
yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
If you get someone who someone clinical.
I still agree with it. I think the part of the question is we just do not create enough.
Yeah.
And I put that down to the lack of.
Which is what you've just been saying,
wing
really,
backs,
isn't it?
wing backs don't do enough at all for me personally, and the centre midfield is just not good enough.
Neil Gior, if we ended the transfer window with getting Callback, Save, etc. off the books and signing a single striker, would you be happy and think enough is there to keep us up?
Definitely not.
Not enough to keep up.
Nah.
I think if we got a striker, I'll be happy.
I think we're probably even if with
He's on the wind up now.
even the squad we've got now, we've got a chance of staying up.
Absolutely.
Whether we probably would do or not.
We need four or five wins between now and the end
Yeah, I
of the
think I
season.
misinterpreted that question.
Yeah, I was going to say we've got 25 points. If we get all these players back, we'll probably
I think we would stay. I think, like what Bessie said, we'll probably stay up anyway. But that's not a good enough transfer window. That like.
But it's the par for the course transfer window, isn't it? It actually only seems to want to spend money when
Chips down on him.
when he needs to improve the money that they spent on like Sissoko, Yanga and Biwa.
Got 5 million, didn't we?
And that
Good
was
for
because
him.
they were fucking dog shit in the league and
Yeah.
they literally just stayed up that season.
Sissoko was like 3.5. I think he paid some of his contract off as well to come at that
No.
time. That was a decent sign. At the time.
They're two losers.
Debussy as well came in that window as well, didn't he?
Debussy, Yanga and Biwa.
Gouffran.
Good window,
Like
that's
Dora. as well.
brilliant. Good fun.
Aye.
The only
Brilliant
window
player.
that we've spent big money was biggish was Shelby and Townsend.
Yeah.
At that time when we went down anyway.
Cisse?
The January window. I'd say it was at 10 million.
It's
Cisse was only 9.5, 10.
It's not a huge window anyway. Again, I'm not trying to defend us. I'm just saying, isn't anyone gone wild in January really?
10 million. Not
It's
since
not.
Torres and Carroll. That's
Carroll, yeah.
Well, Ross
And I hate to say it, we're sitting. Was it 10th or 11th? We ain't gone wild in the window.
asks, do you think us bringing in another striker will shatter Joe Linton's
Is there echo
confidence?
Is your mic alright?
Shatter.
Shut up.
Well, we've already got 4 technically, you could say, in a way. You know, including Joe in that. Sorry, because Gail, Muto, Carroll, and obviously Joe.
Right, let's be.
in a way.
We need to try and ship Gale on this
We'll have
transfer
to,
window.
we'll have to.
We'll
Well, I
have
think it's very telling that he wasn't even
He's
in the
injured.
squad.
He's injured, isn't he?
Was he?
He was injured.
Apparently he picked the injury up in training, didn't he? As well as callback.
He was injured.
Don't know about that.
Well, callbacks is a different story.
Aye, that's a dodgy one. That's Rodwell.
It's fucking wrong way, isn't it? But
Can you believe he's gone to that club? He's gone to Sheffield United.
Aye.
He's playing centre half of them yesterday.
Was he?
that's unbelievable. That is.
Jack Rodwell.
Aye.
I know a good shit house like that. Like, as long as it's not Newcastle.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It helps when it's so in that
Yeah.
shit house. Like.
I think, but like on that one, we need to try and get rid of Gale. We need to.
You have to when you think of the wage.
It's
budget.
my last chance as well, isn't
That'd
it?
be funny. You have to.
And you'd probably get 50
He's got another year.
Yeah, left on his contract
If he goes
after
like
this, yeah.
someone like
You've
Leeds
said
or
that,
West
what people-
Brom.
do you think 50? Really?
I think so. The money he'll get in the championship, the goals he'll get in the championship.
It's well worth the investment.
I
Isn't
think
it?
he did well at West Brom last season, didn't he?
Well, again,
I honestly think you get that for him. Like.
I think you need you tested a bit.
again, there's
15 million
people
or
with short memories out there saying we should swap Dwight Gale, send him to Fulham and get Meat Row back.
I would love Miro back.
I
Of course
would
I
take
would.
Miro
Do you know what?
back.
Right?
Alright.
Do you know what doesn't get like? I cannot understand. Right? The fans slated Mitrovic for his temperament and the possibility of getting red cards. Right? Now, next minute, we want to sign this kid from Rangers.
Oh, that's
he gets sent off every other game.
Fucking cabbage him.
What's all that about?
Again,
Scores goals,
you want to sign players just because they score goals for Rangers in the pub league.
Chris Boyd scored. He's the record scorer in the SPL. Kent Burnham Championship, couldn't score goals.
We'll link with
What's his name?
Tavernier again.
Yeah, he wants to.
He wasn't good enough to play for the first time round.
He's got some experience now. I'll give him that.
He's shit.
He's alright. I think he's alright. mate.
Rangers fans don't even rate him.
No, you're
and he's the captain of the team.
You're talking shite.
I'm not.
Touch.
I'm absolutely not.
Mark knows one Rangers fan.
I know a lot of Rangers
Andy
fans and
McMillan.
they all think he's shit.
2.
He loves thinking that striker.
Oh, I love him because he scores goals and he's exciting
I think
because
he's
he
upset
likes to
Saturday
fight
all the time
everybody.
as well, like, aye.
Yeah.
So, Almiron Drip, 999 shit.
Oh yeah.
Right, good lad.
Last question: with World War III about to start, what former and current Newcastle player would you want on the front line with you? So let's do former players first.
Right, I need a clever one. So not a
clever
clever
one?
answer. I need like an intelligent player.
A clever player.
So I need an intelligent player, like just to assess everything, and I just need a nutcase. So Mitrovic will probably be the nutcase, or Ferguson.
He's got experience of being in a war.
That's
Aye.
a great shout. That
Ferguson's
one.
a hell of a shout, aye.
Big dunk.
Ferguson, aye.
Yeah.
We'll go Ferguson for ex-player. So current.
We'll do ex-players first.
All right, so
you'll
I'll
go Ferguson.
Yeah.
Ferguson. I can I choose the same one? No?
Yeah, I think.
Kind of
Yeah,
feel
I
that.
think
Doesn't,
yeah.
doesn't show much imagination,
Yeah.
but other than that,
Yeah.
What's I've got to take him?
Fuck, I really want to. I want Ferguson as well, but I don't at the same time. Like, I'm trying to think of someone else.
Killer would have been alright. Like.
Kilcare would have been spot on. Like, aye.
that was going to be mine.
Oh, sorry, sorry, shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Why have I got Gary Speed in my head?
Gary Speed,
Aye.
good leader of men.
Aye.
Organise you,
Yeah.
get you looking sharp on the battlefield. Yeah, pretty much the same thinking of mine with Killer. Would organise you, look after you well. But he's a hard bastard as well.
Hard as nails.
Sure, shall we go current?
Current.
I'm gonna. Oh,
Hang on a second.
I would take Matt Ritchie, mate.
Matt Ritchie?
Oh,
Matt
Matt
Ritchie,
Ritchie. Yeah, it's a good shout. That
He would be running with like spears and stuff.
he'd
wouldn't he?
be fixing
being
his
a
battle.
friggin'
He's
I just hope that one out
wild.
against Chowdhury, the opposition, would be alright. Flying tatters on Chowdhury would be done.
Who will I go for?
See you in 3 months, man. Man,
I'm stuck here for current. Like
I'm going Yedlin because he'd be like a typical Yank GI that'd be able to get you anything that you wanted. Because he'd be like proper wheeling and dealing and getting you loads of gear.
with his dog.
Not gear. Like, and his dog could be your mascot of your regiment.
He'll be the new Churchill.
I'm going Shelby. Reasoning.
I wouldn't want to be in the trenches
Because
with that
imagine
little prick.
how many things he could ping into places. Unbelievable, man. Grenade, kick it out of there.
Shelby'd be at the back, man. Oh, I'm too ill to be up
Couldn't
front.
move. Great though.
Couldn't possibly go to the front
Any
line.
special mentions for anymore?
I'm going with Dubravka.
Dubravka?
And Dubs.
Aye.
He'd be meant to chucking grenades, wouldn't he?
He just saved the Malcolm, was he?
Aye.
You make a few mistakes when you blow
He'd
your
drop a few in the trench next to you, wouldn't he?
You might die once a week.
Shit! we're getting on like we'd be in the trenches like in the World War 1 and 2.
Trench warfare
There's
now,
no way it's going to be anything like that, is there?
Aye.
Oh dear me.
Who would you have control of the drone isn't quite the same.
That's it. Who's going to press the button on the nuclear bomb?
Lee Charlie.
Joking here.
Jesus Christ.
Joking, yeah.
Hey dear. Darryl sends in, as a witness to the abuse Joe Linton got on Saturday, I don't condone it, but it's clear to see the lad isn't a number 9. He doesn't get into the box. How do we get answers on this transfer when Shanley and the owner won't talk? How long do we persist before cutting our losses?
You'll never cut your loss with Joe Linton. You'll never ever cut your loss. I think he'll get the time he deserves. I think.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. Like from them above. I think fans have already turned on him, which I think is uncalled for.
Yeah, he's got. It'll take a lot for him to get the fans back on side now.
Thanks for coming.
He just doesn't want to talk about Joe Linton, does he?
That's it. He's back to his normal of hating them.
So
again,
I
isn't
think
he?
he will get a time from Bruce. I think he deserves time as a fan base. I think we're too quick to criticise him, and I think he's a scapegoat right now. The only way you're going to get goals is if you stick by him. He's not going to score when he's not on the pitch.
That leads nicely into a question from Max, who asks, which striker would you realistically want in January in order to move Joe Linton into his actual position?
So the 3 strikers we'll be linked with.
So we've been linked with a few, haven't we?
So
Giroud yesterday and Batshuayi and the guy from
Glenn Murray.
no,
Glenn
guy
Murray,
from that was today, wasn't it? AC Milan.
Morales, that would
Mayatek or something like that, isn't it?
Kalinic as well.
Aye, because
Ibra's
gone back
to Milan.
hasn't he?
Yeah, so that was the three yesterday, and then Glenn Murray's been today, which was
I think we will bring someone in, but I think they'll be alone.
I tell you what I'd like to see. It won't happen. I like Mikel Antonio, West Ham. I think he's a good striker. Him. He's 30, so he's not like a long term. He's like a Rondon type of signing. But you get your goals if he stays fit.
The thing is like when you look at it, it's like, well, like what's not like thinking of names, but what type of striker do we buy? Because the type of way that we play at the minute, you've got somebody that you just wanting to lump the ball up to and get them to hold it off so that people then run it. But then,
so I don't think it'll ever happen. But I think Giroud
would be brilliant for that.
Linton might work well together. But it's never going to happen.
I've liked Giroud for years and years.
Yeah.
Since we've been linked with him before he went to Arsenal, Chelsea, and all that kind of thing.
Wasn't Montpellier, was he? Was he Toulouse as well? Actually,
might be Montpellier actually.
But either way, I remember before Arsenal got him, there was a bit of a thing on Twitter about what you want to get.
Yeah.
And it's when we were playing like everyone from Clairefontaine, like so. We're not going to get him, like obviously, but
of course we're not. No. Said that about Rafa as well, though.
That's true. How old's Giroud now? Is he 32, 33?
I think it'd be a short-term thing for whoever wants to
Giroud,
happen.
he's in his late 30s, 33, 34 maybe.
Might have been.
But you've got like Peter Crouch. He's still doing it until last season.
He's not 40, man.
He's Peter Crouch.
He's fucking closer than what Giroud is, I tell you.
But he's the same type of player where Crouch would come on and he would be able to, you just ping that ball up there, he'd bring it down, trap it like a bag of cement and lay it off.
Why are we talking about Peter Crouch?
You mean Andy Carroll?
No, we're talking about Carroll and Giroud. Sorry.
Giroud ain't coming off near bench, like, for us. If he
signed his start,
he's not going to I'll start on the bench, lads, fine. He's going to be every week, man.
I think the way that we want to play, though, a lot of the problems that we get when we're actually playing our proper game is that we're talking about Joe Linton not getting into the box. I think a lot of the time he's not quick enough to get into the box because if you've got Almiron and St. Maximum flying up, you need somebody that's going to be up front, that's going to be quick to be able to keep up with them.
You say that, I get what you're saying, I do, but Rondon wasn't quick.
Well, he wasn't playing with them players.
Well, he was playing with Almiron.
He was playing with Almiron,
wasn't he? And like he can keep up, like I'm sure you can keep up. I keep hearing this a lot, but
I wonder this. I've heard people saying that. I think, well,
I know I've seen
is Almiron running with the ball going to be that much quicker than Joe Linton running without it?
I think Almiron runs faster when he's got the ball than he does without it.
Impossible.
I'm telling you.
But how many times? And I'm trying to, there's not that many times I see Almiron bombing down the wing, crossing like fucking Rob A. Like.
No, but he's like coming in with it, isn't he? Because he's been playing out on the right.
Yeah. I'd be worried, right, if Julian can't get in the box. I'm really worried.
Well, we know he's had the opportunity to, but he hasn't getting there. It's not a question that he's blown out his arse. He just won't get in there because confidence. Perhaps he doesn't want to get in there. Rondon can get in there. There's thousands of slow players.
I think it's
Andy Carroll can get in there.
It's also a bit about like what Shearer talks about when Bobby Robson first came to the club. That because like he'd lost his pace and stuff like that, he wasn't getting chances. He was starting to move and play with his back to goal and start going looking for the ball into midfield, which is exactly what Joe Linton does. He goes and he drops off because he wants to get the ball to then turn, and he wants players to be playing off him because that's his game. So if you play him and then have somebody in behind him, that's maybe he's got a bit of pace or something like that he can whip the ball.
Well, that's
the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've been trying that though a little bit recently because we've been playing two up front. So he's had Mutu or Gale, he's had up with him, and they've tried. Like my United game's prime example. Held it up, plays Gale in, misses. Like they have tried that, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that is definitely the way to go. Him up front on his own will never work. Ever. No. And I don't think Shearer on his own wouldn't work up front. Current climate, you put Alan up there. You're not going to fucking team out either. I do get that, but I'm not all for this argument of, well, he's doing all the donkey work, he's putting out wide, and then you kind of catch up in the middle. I'm not having it. I'm just not having it.
Two more, mate.
Two more questions. So topical one from Geordie Ridley. Do you blame Bruce for the injuries, or is it just the fixture pile-up combined with the pace of modern football?
You've got to look at the injuries. You've got to be concerned. all muscle injuries, if I'm correct.
Well, I mean,
majority
most of them are.
muscle injuries. It's something which were massively improved on under Rafa. Muscle injuries were dead.
Statistically,
Muscle injuries were dead.
we didn't, because he even came out and said that himself before the game, which is quite ridiculous. We then lost 3 in that game with muscle injuries, but up until that point, we had a better record.
In muscle injuries or injuries
muscle-
just in full?
Yeah. So
In full, I know in full the season we had 36, I think it was, and it was 16th in the Premier League for the injuries, so we were 4th bottom in terms of the amount of injuries.
We must be top now.
So, yeah, possibly.
no, Bournemouth still.
Bournemouth maybe. Villa will be very close as well.
I'm concerned about there's so many players at
Yeah.
such a small and close approximity in God's time period that they're all picking up very similar injuries.
But again, and yes, I think it's because when you lose 3 players in one game, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah.
That's something going on there.
Well,
I will say, I've seen some quotes that my mate sent, it was a Mackham, he said that, this was in Boxing Day 2012, or whenever the fuck he was at Sunderland, and sure enough on there it was injury nightmare, Courton, almost identical. Kieran Richardson got injured, and I think that made it 14 at first team.
I think they've done it at all these previous clubs, haven't they?
Villa, it's an injury nightmare. I've never seen now like it. Newcastle, I've never seen now like
Yeah,
it.
I've seen it, but then what you also see is every other club in the league is getting the same injuries.
They play too much football at Christmas for me.
100%.
I was thinking this today, though, I was listening to a podcast and talking about the FA Cup and stuff, and how it's like, it's kind of, we mentioned in the podcast how the importance feels like it's diminished because Liverpool put their kids out last night. Newcastle played a fairly strong team on Saturday, but that wouldn't start a league game.
Yeah.
And I think if you drop a game over Christmas, a big concern might be, I don't know if it is, but it might be that it's just too much. You get a game in the first weekend in January on the back of like 5-6 games in.
Was it like 48 hours by the turnover?
That was terrible.
Yeah,
That's
it's too
terrible.
much.
We played the Thursday and then played the Saturday.
If you've been a game before Christmas, I think you get fewer injuries.
I think
Just play an extra midweek game.
I would bin you've got the Boxing Day games, you've got the New Year's games. Don't play between those two.
you look at the Lascelles injury and the Richie injury. That's
We'll not have this problem next year though, because
Yeah.
when the Boxing Day and Christmas Day and all that fall on a weekend.
Yeah.
So
Aye.
unless what they'll probably then do
Although you do play
is just then
46 games in
play.
the Championship as well, like so.
The other thing that never gets mentioned.
That's what we'll do after.
You're playing during the week, aren't you? You get a lot more midweek games than you do in the Premier League.
The other thing that never
I think
gets
we only
mentioned
got 3 midweek games.
Yeah, you don't get that many at all in the Premier League.
Go on.
is the facilities. The shit, man.
Yeah, they're all bad.
Everyone bangs the drum when they want to about, Ashley won't put him for the training ground. We'll get 109 injuries, it's all Bruce's fault. How about it might be the facilities and the players haven't got the actual facilities to fucking recover?
I did find, you probably wouldn't have seen this being off Twitter, but I did find it ironic this week that Sean Lees came out saying that they're going to invest some money in the academy and stuff like that, and everybody's up in arms because it then means they're spending money on the academy instead of spending it on the first team.
Yeah,
We've had the plans for how many years? About remember when they made a massive deal about the
I know, but you
what
hear
the
his
training
point,
ground?
right?
Yeah, like
It's a fucking shambles.
You can
It's a shambles.
and I said this at the weekend as well, is going into that match on Saturday, it was a no-win situation, because if we go into that and we win that game, then everybody goes, it's just a League One team, shitty League One team, you should win them. If we go and draw like we did, it's the end of the world. Heaven forbid we would have lost it, because there would have been meltdown's been bad enough this week as a result.
There would have been heads on spikes at the Castle Wall, man.
But that sums a lot of the opinion of the bang on and putting money in the academy and look after the youth. They decide to do it, and now that just means that we'll not spend any money on players. It's like, for fuck's sake. And then in the summer, Charlie says, well, we didn't do that because we spent 90 million on players or 80 million or whatever it was. I don't know the exact figure. And then they kicked off, saying, well, they should have put it in the acadamy. Sometimes you're just shoveling shit at times. Like
The thing is, though, there should be more money.
Well,
Let's be honest, that's
there should
the
be,
problem.
but
it's not. Why can't I have both?
but
The club aren't operating at a loss by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, I haven't even got a sleeve sponsor, man.
What?
Like, it got brought in later on, though, didn't it? And they paid pennies for it, apparently.
maybe, but
So you advertise that a bit more,
Right.
and you get a few mil off that.
Well, there's always been the thing about the advertising on the ground, and all the Sports Direct placards, and how much
Exactly.
is he paying for anything of that? I mean, apparently he is now, but
And there's
be
all the
pennies,
kick-off
though, eh?
about fans will go, like, when we change the name to whatever it was, Sports Direct or fucking Arena or whatever shit it was. If a massive company came in and bought the rights for St James's Park,
yeah.
I'd happily accept it. if it means that money's getting invested in
One
other
that did,
things.
didn't it? One that did, but they chose the name of St James's Park.
It did.
It was a
It
nice.
did.
It was a P. Austin one.
It was a P. Austin.
A bit like Annie Carroll.
Because no matter what that ground gets called, if let's say, top of my head, some
Well, the only people that ever called it the Sports Direct Arena were with Mackems.
Sky did as well, like.
I think
They've got to.
actually.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah.
they've got it. But
Yeah.
fans of our club, fans of other clubs, all call it St James's Park. It'll always be St James's Park. Always will.
But it's the same the country over. Like when you look at like Dean Court, Bournemouth's Vitality, but it's Dean Court. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It's only
Pride
clubs
Park's
that...
what's it called now? The iPro, but it's Pride Park. If clubs are doing it. Fucking Southampton played in not Southampton. Scarborough.
and
Played
McCain
in
Stadium,
for
yeah.
fucking how many years? And that's going back to the 80s.
Yeah.
York was Kit Kat Crescent for you, and it's something that clubs had to do
Brighton
20,
played that
30
mix.
years ago, to survive. And now Borough, the BT selling at Riverside, Arsenal,
no,
Emirates.
yeah.
It's the way the game's going.
I think it's different when you build a new stadium and you give it that
Maybe,
name,
but it
like
has
the
got identity.
Etihad, Emirates and stuff like that. But
But if a huge company comes in and says, we'll buy the name into your stadium, if you know that's going to get reinvested either into the training ground, into the team, do you take it?
Of course you do. Absolutely.
it's bitter pill to swallow,
Not
isn't it?
convinced, are you?
No, because I think if it happened, then someone would say, Rashi's got enough money anyway, so why's he got to do that? It doesn't matter, there'll always be an argument.
So
if a new owner comes
Rational
in and does
people
that,
might
rational
accept
people,
it.
but there's not many fucking rational people about though. That's the problem.
if a new owner comes in and said, the first thing we're going to do is rename the ground after my company.
Oh, they wouldn't care because Ashley's gone.
Right,
But
okay.
it wouldn't take long. A few 12th, 13th places getting knocked out in the 5th round instead of the whatever it is now, the 3rd. It'll soon turn.
Well, you've just
It'll
got
soon
to
turn.
look at
It'll
our
soon
illustrious neighbours.
turn. So if we got took over, let's be realistic here, right? If we got took over and you've done what you said there, he comes in, he calls it fucking Heinz United. I think it's tomato sauce. Heinz fucking stadium, right? I was, right?
What was that the first thing that came to your mind?
How real? I'm being realistic though. I honestly think 10th, 11th, 12th isn't good enough, right? Right?
I think we're hanging sweet.
Well, what do you want to call it then?
I want to do some brand.
Well,
I want
Heinz.
Greg's a nice local
What do you
company.
use that? Tell us, give the best you got.
The Greg's Steak Bakery.
Heinz Field.
Heinz Field. That's
One of the biggest stadiums in America.
It is. Give us the best. then. Give us the best. Give us the best you've got.
You know what, who would be the
What's your favourite brand?
the perfect sponsor for Newcastle United?
Surely it's Geordie Gifts.
Yeah, Jody gives. Guillermo.
Surely that, yeah.
Marmite.
Marmite. Fucking hell.
Because half of the fans fucking hate it and half of the fans love it.
No one loves it. I don't love it. I don't love it. But what the point I'm trying to make is I get what Chris is saying, that you invest this and this will happen and that will happen. If Ashley did that tomorrow, there'd be absolute hell on, man.
There would be.
Hell on.
But it's the same.
And if a new owner did it, it would be Ari.
There's kind of mitigation because actually there's been 12, 13 years now of like neglect.
Of course, there's.
It's strong words. So he's kind of made his bed there a little bit where it's going to take him. It would take a lot from Mike Ashley if fucking Heinz or Aldi come in and said, right, he has 50 billion. I'm going to name a stadium. Put it, and Mike Ashley goes, people are going to have a go at Ashley that because of what he's done in the past. Because the way he's kind of the Sports Direct Arena or Sports Direct at St James's Park.com, whatever it was called, was done as a showcase. That wasn't him saying, right, there's 50 million or whatever the fucking going rate is now. The nonsense that's going on at them, Derby and Sheffield with their stadiums. Like, it wasn't, there's the money, I'm going to do this. It was, I'm doing this for free. It's the showcase fucking doing that.
Yeah.
But really, it's just him advertising his own company.
Yeah.
So, I understand what you're saying. Like, people don't. Everything Ashley does, he's not just like malevolent bloke where everything that he tries to do is to the fucking detriment of the football club. But by the same token, he's done that much wrong in the past that I can understand people not giving him the same leeway they would give a new owner or like or something like that.
Do you think it would be a clean slate? So if a new owner come in and do that, do you think everyone would be fine with it?
Comparatively so, I mean, Ashley got a clean slate to start with.
I would have hated him if he changed the name.
Ashley was fucking Paul going in the big market, he's Alan Smith shirt and buying everyone that fucking absolute.
Yeah,
it was the same thing that's happened at Sunderland 2 years ago. They thought Stuart Donald was the greatest thing since Christ.
Yeah, that's true.
Fast forward down the road, they now want them out.
They did a show because he wore their FTM badge.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
But that isn't that just fans? That's just, it is what it is, isn't it? Like everyone, apart from when Bruce come in. But I mean, like generally speaking, when there's a new person comes in, or a new player's been bought, or a new owner comes in, or a new manager, everyone's
my major concern about selling the likes of the ground name and things like that, I would always look at inside the ground first and thinking, why is that advertising not being sold first?
That's fair enough. Like, I mean, yeah, you're gonna get a premium for the name of the ground, like, but yeah, you're right. I mean, stuff like the Sports Direct stuff, it's everywhere. It's
literally you've got one right behind you, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I'm literally in the back row there. I've got like a corner, but it's like when I was
best place for it though, because I can't see it when he stands up.
Well, when I said obviously it's you know what I mean, like I said that, and I just hate it every time I look up and think, fuck. Just get rid of that.
It was on the roof and all sorts.
Well, that's it. When we used
to,
if you were to look out of the window from our work, you would.
Well, have you heard that
they're
changing the name to the Fraser Group, isn't he?
That's right,
yeah.
And there was rumours that they're going to change all the logos inside to Fraser Group, but then there's also Adam shaking his head is kind of far off. But then they've also said that may not happen because Sports Direct's going to keep that same name. So that was we may got an email saying from work saying that it was going to change the Fraser Group, but then they kind of retracted that. So. Would it be nice?
It'll probably just be a different branch.
Yeah. Even if I know if you took them off and they were still his sponsors, right? It still wouldn't look as bad as what Sports Direct does. Like,
it's not. It's horrible branding.
It's just the flannel ones would look nicer.
Even though it's owned by him, flannel still wouldn't look as bad. Like it wouldn't.
But at the end of the day, still not getting any money for it.
Big classic. That's unfair. He is paid now.
Not enough.
Peanuts.
Even the Sports Direct thing, like the logo itself, it's the association more than anything.
Absolutely.
The logo itself doesn't bother us particularly. It's the repeated all the. Obviously, I don't want it every fucking way in the ground. But the occasional one, I think, like, that's Sports. Before Ashley turned up, that's Sports Direct.
Bothers me because it looks cheap.
I hate it.
I think that's an association thing. Because you associate sports, because the
Sports
shops are
Direct's
fucking,
cheap.
The shops are dog shit. Like, don't get me. Can I say that? Yeah, the shops are fucking rubbish.
Of course you can.
Allegedly.
Oh no, I did not. But I do think like it's because you associate Sports Direct with Ashley and what he's done. Like when it was on the training kit, it was on. They had the little Sports Direct badge on.
A couple of seasons ago, didn't it?
It was the Virgin Media
time. It looks
time.
fucking ghastly. But is that not just because of what Sports Direct represents? Because the logo itself doesn't fettle me.
Does it not?
No, not particularly.
It bothers me.
I mean, like I say, I don't want to say it like repeated fucking ad nauseum around the stadium a million times.
Do you know what it is though?
Just seeing Sports Direct on, as it is, red and blue fucking thing. Sports Direct.
I hate it, you know.
It didn't bother that sponsor, that Chinese sponsor on the front of the shirt. It's just red and blue.
Do you know what it is though? Like, it sounds weird, but like I like designs of like logos and stuff like that, and I appreciate like a good logo. Sports Direct one's fucking dog shit. You put it near the like the sleeve sponsor, so that's Storm Gaines. Their logo's pretty impressive. Like it's a nice looking logo and it looks nice on the kits.
It does, yeah.
Imagine you replace that with Sports Direct. It does look cheap.
Sports Direct isn't a fucking. It's not a luxury
coin-based thing, isn't it?
But it's sort of
he's taken his luxury product in House of Fraser and cheapened that by making it now look like Sports Direct.
Well, everything he touches turns to shit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I always
like Newcastle United.
All the stuff wear shorts and
Really?
Why?
The cheapness are they've got loads of fucking tracksuits for sale. They've come to hold you, they've got a fucking tie on, they've got
they have.
No, they did.
They do. They now stock like Donny and Lee Cooper and all the Slazenger and all that shit.
Sports Direct, like,
and they've got all the same. They've got all the same hangers and shit now.
Can you remember the one?
Them awful hangers.
But what is all that about? Why do they wear shorts in Sports Direct?
I don't know.
What's all that about? Because it's sportswear.
What?
My mate does it like
sportswear.
No, it's weird. Like
I tell you what I really like on sleeve sponsors at Northumbria University. That was in a pre-season. I think it's on the women's kit as well.
Oh, is it?
Never noticed it.
It's either Northumbria or Newcastle University, and it looks fucking.
Was it? I know I said we didn't have a sleeve
sponsor.
It'll be because
obviously was in China, and we are the biggest import of Chinese students in the world.
Oh, really?
Was that not that kit?
That one had the tyre one, didn't it?
Then what about?
Oh no, it had that red one. The red
tyres.
So what did we have last season?
We didn't. Last season
we didn't have one.
Yeah, last season we didn't have one.
That one was Mumbai Rubber Factory tyres.
So why can't?
Because it wasn't.
Why can't we like promote something for a good thing?
Yeah, just a charity.
You've
got Sir Bob Robson Foundation.
Well, that's what he said.
I never get that one.
Because the reason that they didn't, because they didn't want to devalue the shirt sleeve sponsor, so they didn't have one.
Oh, so making
that's what it was.
So making it free means that.
But if he's all willing to rename the stadium as a showcase of what it could be, why not do it on the fucking sleeve?
Fair comment, yeah. That's a very good comment. That yes.
Stupid prick.
He is a bellend, and that's why. But that's why it annoys us that like they're just fucking.
Breaking news: Mike Ashley is a bellend.
But again, all of the noise has gone away from him, man. It's all gone away from him. They have a couple of stands outside. Sometimes about 50 people turn up. And there's
It was actually the last
15
game.
people outside of a shop.
The
every
last
2
home
years.
game, there
It's
was
just not good enough,
a
man.
there was a demonstration, wasn't there?
They felt like there was a little bit, and I mean a little bit, after the free half season ticket thing, because people got their backs up about that. Some people got their backs up about that, but it just seems to disappear. Like when you think how back at the start of the season, I didn't go to the Arsenal game because of the boycott as it was.
Yeah.
And then
It's won 52,000 there last week.
it's like,
It's laughable, really, isn't it? I'm not trying to be funny,
and
but
you get people that don't go now. People that stop going at saying that you're part of the problem, which I don't necessarily subscribe to, but I can kind of see the argument. Like,
it's funny as all, I think. The kick
I
off.
can't wait to be part of the problem in the FA Cup replay against Rochdale next week.
Right, let's wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. No more questions. I don't even.
No, last question. We'll have to do this one.
He's gone wild out,
So Joe Buck asks, you like this one?
All right, okay.
Because it's hurting me to read this one out.
It's hurting you.
Joe Buck,
Read it.
Joe Buck asks.
How many times are you going to say his name? Joe Buck? What's he sent in?
Joe Buck asks.
who?
Fucking hell.
Joe Buck. Joe Buck asks, in the decade of Newcastle's greatest goals, which Ben Arthur goal was better, Bolton or Blackburn?
Right, talk us through both of them again, because I always get these two
Bolton,
confused.
Cruyff turn at the halfway line.
Is that one where he's getting wiped out?
Past.
Or almost getting wiped out.
2 or 3 players. He goes in the end. He goes past about 3
He
players.
basically just goes
Is the
straight
Blackburn the one
through.
where he hits it in the roof of the net?
And he
Yeah.
He goes down, takes on about 3 or 4 players in the box, runs across the byline, doesn't run it out of play that time.
There's a terrible
and
touch
then
on that.
puts it in the roof.
Bolton.
I think Bolton.
Blackburn for me.
Done.
I thought you would say Blackburn is a main goal, but Bolton for me.
Which one are you going for?
Blackburn.
Blackburn.
I'm saying Bolton, but mainly because Gutierrez scored against Blackburn as well. Anything Gutierrez
Take away the body like goal.
Yeah.
Oh, 100% agree with you on that.
What a goal that was, Bolton.
It's just the fact that everyone's just trying to take his ankles out as well.
Aye.
It still wasn't the best goal of the decade, though.
So what was the best goal
Best
of the
Newcastle
decade?
goal is that,
CC's.
That's Chelsea. The second one.
It is a great goal. It's an absolutely fantastic goal, and I don't think it'll ever be repeated. I don't think we'll ever see a goal like that again.
Gouffran's was an absolute belter as well when he caught it on the volley.
Oh, fucking what a hit
That was beautiful. that
Derby
one.
away, we had one
What
shot.
a player he was.
One shot, one goal. Thanks very much.
Best player I've ever seen in black and white. Yeah, brilliant.
Beautiful
And
man
you know
as
what I don't
well.
think gets enough
Beautiful
credit?
man.
Kabai's free kick against Man U.
That's in there. That's in there as well.
Beautiful strike.
Yeah,
Beautiful strike.
Good
Brilliant
goals.
crossbar.
Good goals.
Amazing. Any more?
The away one or the home one?
Home one.
Did he score a
One.
free kick at Old Trafford, did he?
Yeah, he did in the yellow
Nah,
strip.
Nah, he just placed on the bottom corner.
so free kick.
Yeah,
just
good
cut it
Yeah,
across
placed on the
and-
bottom corner.
Good
And he
one.
just kept on running to the corner.
I'm sure. Did we not win 1-0
No.
and he scored a free kick down there?
Nah.
Absolutely.
That was a game where Ben Arthur wouldn't give Moyes the ball back.
He was on strike by then.
Yeah.
Was it Moyes?
Yeah.
Was it
Swanee
No, I think it was Moyes.
scored a free kick down there.
Nah.
Maybe he's thinking a different game.
Great kit.
We had looked at it was like it wasn't
Wonga
really. I
ruined
think,
it
like,
for me.
it was that weird kind of fucking blue thing that had on there.
So I just like it was the Brazil. It was a whole yellow
Yeah, I
and white,
didn't like
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was lush.
I didn't like it.
It's the one I didn't like, of course.
I like the colours, but I thought your kit was nicer.
What colour? Which one was you want?
It was like dark blue with light blue kind of little.
Oh, yeah,
flashy
yeah.
bits. It was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
smart.
Yeah, that one was
Again,
nice.
let down by the sponsor.
It's like the Patrick Kluivert one with the blue.
I think we had like I don't think
Oh,
our
yeah,
kits were
right.
that bad. I think it was the sponsor that ruined
I think
most of those kits then.
Now that Puma's apparently coming to a close now, Newcastle, I think the shirts have been okay for the most part.
Hummel.
Can't be too bad.
I hope we get Hummel.
Oh fucking god!
Hummel's shirts are
I would
mint.
never leave me cock alone if we got
I want Kappa.
Kappa.
Oh, Kappa.
tight fit in mind.
But Italy
I'm not wearing one. There's one.
They make a lot of
They do better. It's just
bright kits,
They
don't
do
they?
lush training gear, like the training gear is
Kappa.
going to be quite smart, like yeah.
I love Hummel, mate. Like
Hummel's-
Umbro's really good again.
I never thought I would have said that though a few
Yeah.
years ago. Hummel, I was like, fucking Hummel. But they are mint though.
Warrior. We're getting Warrior in there.
Well, Warrior's New Balance.
This man, aye.
No Spurs.
Is it?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Warrior's
aye.
the same company as New
Is
Balance.
Liverpool New Balance at the minute?
Yeah,
Till
it's still the
it turns
same
light
deal, but
next
it's-
season.
Them do good. Just
I think they went to being a court, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost it. So New Balance need a new bigger club.
In the championship. Oh, here he goes. Right, see you
There's a lot
later.
of shirts.
And thanks for watching. Bye.
all the best.
Good night.